We're recording.
Hi everybody. Jane and I are going to go through with you the mechanics of hanging IV piggybacks. There's 3 different ways we're going to be doing it in lab today, and I'm going to be showing you the first one. In this case, our piggyback is brand new order. There's not been previous piggybacks set up for the patient, and so all we have right now is a primary bag running, and I need to get ready to bring up a piggyback. This is going to mean that I'm going to need my secondary tubing to attach, which is going to be brand new. I'm going to need my piggyback. I am going to need gloves because when we're working with piggybacks, we don't want to be exposed to the medications that are in them. And of course, alcohol swabs to get my port ready. So I'm going to start off by getting my secondary tubing out. In my secondary tubing, I have my sanitarily wrapped IV tubing, and it does have a cap on the lure lock end and on the spike. When I get tubing out, I immediately roll the roller clamp shut so that I don't have IV piggyback all over my shoe. All right, this is an access, port access, which because we're in a lure lock system, we do not need this, so we can set that aside. The other thing that comes in our package is a hanger. And when we hang piggybacks, we need to hang them above the level of our primary bag. So this provides us a little hanger when we're ready to drop that bag. While I'm doing all of this, you can see that my pump just continues to run. So my tubing is out and is locked. The roller clamp is locked down. I'm going to get my gloves on. And I'm going to get ready to prime my tubing. When we have brand new tubing, we prime it with the primary fluids using RetroFlush. And so I need to scrub my port for 15 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So now that that's scrubbed, I'm going to get that little dangly thing on my way. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the lure lock end of my tubing, my secondary tubing, onto my primary tubing, and it just screws right on. So with brand new tubing, we're going to do a thing called retroflushing. And what I'm going to do is, while the pump continues to run, open my roller clamp, and I'm going to let my fluid go backwards into my tube until I fill my drip chamber halfway. So I roll my roller clamp open, and I roll it about halfway open. I want to stay in control of my fluids. It's coming up through my tube. I can use gravity to help me go faster or slower as well. It's approaching my drip chamber. Now it's entering my drip chamber, and I'm going to let that tubing or the drip chamber fill till it's about halfway full. Halfway to 2/3. All right, I'm happy with that. The reason we do this is we're never going to flush or prime our line with antibiotic because there's a risk then of spilling. So we want to prime our line with our primary solution and then get ready to put on our piggyback. So we have a injection port and a spike port. This has a little bit of a silver cover. Remember, ladies first, then our gentlemen. And I like to do that little flippy thing with my tubing so I don't get bubbles. Up to the groove on the spike. I let my tube down, make sure I don't have any bubbles, and I'm going to hang it up above. Now I need to lower my primary bag so that my secondary bag will run in first. This is fluid physics. So I'm ready to set my pump. I'm going to stop my infusion. I'm going to change. On this screen, I changed to my piggyback because there had been one previously running on this pump. If you don't have changed to piggyback, you have to go down to special functions. So I'm going to left arrow into my piggyback. I'm going to set my rate, and I have 50 cc's in my piggyback. I want it to run in for, let's say, 30 minutes. So my rate's going to be 100. So I'm going to OK that. And my volume to be infused. Now I have 50 cc's in the bag. And what we need to do in order to clear this tubing of the medication, we're going to set this at 70. We're going to add 20 cc's to our volume and say OK. So that should be ready to go. My rate and my volume. Before I push start, I got to open my roller clamp and I'm going to push start. So I want to look up and I want to see that my IV piggyback is indeed dripping and that my primary bag is just hanging here doing nothing. When this bag completes, the fluid level drops to where it meets the level here along the bag, then this bag is going to start taking over. So this will help move that fluid through. So that is the steps it takes to hang a brand new piggyback setup when we have a primary bag alone. That's it for this one.